What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Nooners of Ice and Fire. We are going to try to predict stuff, maybe, but I hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. We are going to look into Game of Thrones. We have 2 episodes left. That's it. Cry. Some people have already quit watching. Whatever. I don't give up, so we're still going to keep watching this. I like the Game of Thrones that is being portrayed at this moment. I do have to say, of course, there are some issues. There have been some issues for the past 4 seasons, but hey, we still love the show, don't we? I think so. Really quick, I want to introduce my panelists, but first, a lot of things happened Monday, and I didn't get to do the questions, so we're going to do 3 today. We have 2 more designated driver keychains to for y'all to win. Sasake, by the way, that one is in the mail. I'll be sending you a picture as proof earlier. Girl Nettles has received her prize. How are you doing? It's everybody's happy. It's a great day. So, with that, we do have something special at the end of the show. This really awesome chakra bottle that was made by Handmade by Bobbi. So, 3 questions you shall get today. 3 treasons you shall know. And then you have 2 chances at a designated driver keychain. And it doesn't matter if you won a keychain in the past, you can still win this. So, same rules apply. Question. With that, let me introduce my co host, my shadow, MackenzieLBurns. What is going on today, Sasa?
Not too much, Johnny. It's been kind of a easygoing day this morning, but I'm excited to be here and obviously talking about another predictions live stream that you've got going on today. And hey, we'll probably end up talking about a whole bunch of things that may happen because we've been kind of in the right ballpark, we can say so far. So why not?
Why not? Indeed. And, without further ado, I have to introduce the great John Delvento. Another John, another hairline. Who knows? This guy might even be smart. What's going on, man?
Oh man, how am I supposed to follow that up? You got me laughing about the hairline. Well, Johnny Mackenzie, thank you so much for having me here again. It's a great pleasure to be talking with some like-minded and like hairlined folks. Not you, Mackenzie. You look great, by the way. But it's really great to be here. Seriously, 2 episodes to go. Can you believe it? I'm really excited to be talking about it. And it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. New hashtag TGLLF. Thank the Lord of Light. It's Friday. All right. LL. Thank the Lord of Light. It's Friday because the Lord of Light did save us quite recently. So we cannot forget his greatness and his presence. So thank the Lord of Light. It's Friday. Double T, double L, F. TTLLF. Thank the Lord of Light. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Great to be here.
Yes, you heard it here. Arya is the Lord of Light. Um, oh no, I think I'm misrepresenting what John Delvento is saying. No, he is a Red Priest of R'hllor. A little better than Thoros. I would give him credit for that. I've seen him with a flaming sword. But with that, we'll go ahead and get one of the first questions out of the way. You get 10 seconds, and I think MackenzieLBurns has it. This is for the Dornish Red designated driver keychain. Hashtag Jose Martell in the chat. Go ahead, Sasa.
Sorry, there was background noise for a second. Well, the first kind of question, I guess, composed to the chat. It's kind of an easy one if you're paying attention, but how many arrows does Rhaegal take to be taken down?
I'd lose this one. Got about 8 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Who won? Let me
I
guess.
think it was 3, so it was Otila, because it was one through the one was the initial hit, one was the second hit, and then the one was through the neck. So 3. There was 4 arrows, but there was 3 hits.
Otila, Angel. You got to.
Stuff.
Otila's all good.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations. 3 arrows. 3 deceptive, maybe scientifically inaccurate, but cinematically interesting arrows. We'll add that to the picture.
There were magic spells. Qyburn worked the shafts before Euron took them. Hashtag worked the shafts in the chat. Let me give a little shout out to everyone really quick. Katrina Torres, how is it going today? Katrin C, from my point of view, lovely patron, I love you. Jordy Jedi, Sasake, sorry. Linda R, Julie Ann 89. Do you guys like my Funko? Because Julie Ann 89 sent it to me. Does it look like me? Danny McKay, what is good, my friend? Girl Nettles, I hope you're having a great day. I see you got your package. Hashtag got my package in the chat. Steve York, what is good? Nikolai Jurican, how is it going? Tamara Magdalene, bring them hardcore comments. Y'all kill me, I swear. Especially when y'all get to debating. I think I called out Katrina Torres, but Bobby Catalano, Handmade by Bobbi. See, I got to do all my plugs really quick up here. John Delvento, whatever. Let's. I think that's it. No, Al Red Sox fan. What is good? Who else? Go ahead, Sasa.
Lady H in the north of the north.
Yes, Lady H of the north. Okay, very good, very good. We'll kind of start off. What's up with Dorne? You think anything is going on with Dorne? In general, I'll give you my thoughts in just a second. John, you want to take this one first?
Sure. It's a very interesting notion for sure. We do have some long episodes. I think we had, past theories where we thought, other locations might be revealed, say maybe White Harbor or, really anywhere, to be honest. I mean, we could see a little bit of the neck during this travel. I mean, we thought we were going to see the God's Eye. So there's been several theories about other locations, but it seems like so far they're sticking to the big 3 or the big 4. We got Winterfell, we got King's Landing, we got a little bit of the Wall. I would love to see Dorne, but it seems like they're not going that way. Unfortunately, I mean, now that Varys is getting a little more screen time, we do remember he had a little fiasco in Dorne, and then he just did a classic teleport onto the ship. It's kind of cinematic crap there. But that could be a kind of theoretical connection. But in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see Dorne. I would love to see some beautiful Dornish women, though. I would love it. Why not?
I mean, technically there are some sand snakes still alive. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but whatever. I do think Dorne may come into play in a sense. I don't know why Bran put out this Darren Targaryen comment, but if you go back, he was basically the first one to conquer Dorne, bring Dorne in the fold. It kind of unfolded. Then Baelor did his Walk of Atonement, which is really interesting if you haven't read that. And he was called the Young Dragon. He was after Aegon III, I believe, and this was at the end of the Dance of Dragons. All the dragons were basically dead. He was one of the first rulers that did not have a dragon. And when they asked, how he was going to conquer Dorne, where are your dragons? He said he stands right before you. Sounds a lot like stuff Danny says, but you also have some Jon undertones there. Now, I don't know if that means Dorne's going to come into the fold, but they're really resistant to anyone invading them. Going back into history, it took forever for them to even become part of the Seven Kingdoms. They're a lot like the North in the way that they're very inclusive with themselves and not others. They don't really include everyone else. Sasa, anything to say? Stop me from ranting.
Well, a couple of people, I think majority of the people in the chat, when they slyly mentioned the Prince of Dorne, that they all thought of Jose Martell. Jose Martell, the Prince of Dorne, because it was just ever so slightly slipped into the conversation of, Yara has taken back the Iron Islands for her queen, aka you, and there's also the new Prince of Dorne has come into the fold in a sense, and you're just like, what? It's that subtle slip, which, I mean, to bring back Dorne into the storyline is a little bit, it might be too late. It would literally maybe be the last episode we see who this Prince of Dorne is. Like, maybe in the last, I highlight that where he's showing up in the next episode on Sunday, but maybe in the last episode, just so we know who this supposed ruler is. I think some people have been saying that it may be a Dane that sits the Dornish throne right now or something. I don't know. But it's entirely possible, especially if they've written off all of the male Martells, in a sense, or
It could be a
even the
Dane. It could be an Oler, which is kind of like the Boltons of the South. That's who killed Meraxes with the scorpion bolt to the eye. It only took one. And that's what was the fall of Rhaenys. Some think she actually lived and was tortured and maybe even had a baby. So there's a lot of interesting things going with that. Mariah Martell, the Yellow Toad. I'm doing Fire and Blood breakdowns on my Patreon. Go check it out. It's Patreon exclusive. It's going to be fantastic. Anyways, got to plug myself as always. Have I said anything interesting? No. Okay. So we got some stuff in the chat I want to get to. Sasa K says we haven't seen Illyrio die. This is very true. Now, and also, we don't know how many people were exactly behind Illyrio Sand with her backing Dany, right? So we don't know if they're going to want to make their own independence at this point. John?
No, that's a great point, because the big issue with Dany is the people that she surrounds herself with, right? Do you remember the scene? Probably one of my favorite scenes in Game of Thrones was the Council of Ladies at Dragonstone. She felt so comfortable. It was Yara, Lady Olenna, all the ladies were there. They were still debating various ideas, but Dany was just comfortable. You can tell her shoulders were down. She was loving it. She was loving it. That is her crew. And when Dany and Yara are together, they get that warrior princess vibe. I get pumped up. I think it's great. And that's a good point. And that could bring Mackenzie maybe in the last episode, Dorne back into play, because the Council of Ladies is a really powerful scene. And it does involve a Martell. And it could be, maybe some people aren't dead that should be dead. But that's a really good point about that. And Bran knows some things about House Dane potentially as well. And we can get into my Bran theory as well, but that could be another subtle connection as well. But it's very interesting. I never thought about it too much, but to me, there are some connections there. But when Dany was there with her ladies, it was awesome. And if that could happen, it should, and that would be fantastic.
Well, you would think Yara's going to show up at Dragonstone. Now that I think about it, right?
Oh yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, ladies.
Who's going to take down Euron? You would want Jaime to, but Yara would be awesome to take down Euron. Let me see. What's going on? Catherine Bassett, Barbara McCullough, Vanessa Amnesty. Let me see. Tamara Magdalene. Oh, Al Red Sox fan, how is it going, my friend? I've seen a couple new people in the chat. How is everyone doing? Linda R., what is going on? Let me see. We got some really good questions and thoughts in here, and we'll get into your brand theory. As far as
Vanessa is so funny. Did you see what she said? I think if Olenna, Ilaria, and Yara would have remained advising her instead of Tyrion and Varys, this would have ended in episode 7.4.
It would have ended. There'd be
that's funny. Season 7, episode 4.
So
imagine if ladies ruled this world here. Come on, these men, they gotta go. Put the ladies in charge. Bam.
Well, there's a point to that too. The timid way that they've been going at it, which I agree a little bit with what Tyrion is doing, but sometimes you do have to become the dragon, right? And I would say that they've caused more lives to perish just by waiting the way they have. That's a really, really good point. Not the one I just made. The one the big issue with Dany is Dany. I think she may have a bit of reflection right here. So we may see a switch in Dany. At least I'm hoping she can come back.
Valyrian Sphinx makes a comment of, at the time when the community is divided, maybe they want to add more Dorn plot to bring us together and make it fun again.
Yeah, they're gonna pull the old okey doke, right?
Mhm.
Appreciate that, DA. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can get a little bit into the Harry Strickland plot. I know after we get done talking about this, we'll have another question. But let's talk about the Golden Company. It doesn't look like they're going to flip at this moment. At least I don't think so. And maybe Dario pops up, but what does he do? Harry Strickland isn't Dario. I don't think he can sway the Golden Company. Now, could he bring Dany important information? Yes, but I think it's too late for him to come into the fold. Could be wrong. Y'all's thoughts on the Golden Company and maybe even someone new from the past coming back? I feel like
think,
Illyrio still has to have we
yeah,
need to hear his name somewhere at least for them to just tighten that up because him and Varys are working together.
I feel like, yeah, we'll have Varys have sent a raven, maybe, or a little bird to Olario, and then we'll get that in like the final episode if Varys is to die next episode. Because if his treason is exposed. But in regards to the Golden Company, I really think that they're not going to flip. If they do, it'll be at the very, very last second that they do. Cersei's hired these people, pays them very well. We've talked about this, I believe, on Wednesday. It's like, how will Dany pay these people? Because they're a stealth lord company and they fight with money instead of fight with allegiance. And we see that exemplified in Bronn. It's like whoever gives him the biggest castle gets to stay alive at this point. So Dany is she's stripped of a lot of things, and probably including money at this point. So they won't be able to pay her unless it's a thing of doing a flip of sorts. But I think Dario could come in at the very last second. A lot of people are assuming that the one in the black cloak, his name is Jaime. But how did Jaime get through the gates of King's Landing though? That's my kind of weird thing about that. Unless it's someone because it's like, how do you bypass the gates of King's Landing where they're armed by either the Golden Company or Lannister soldiers? Jaime's kind of exiled himself, so to come back would be a little bit weird because they'd be on the weary of almost like a bouncer with this checklist of you're not allowed in, kind of things. But it could be either Dario or Jaqen, but the most likely answer is probably Jaime. But it just doesn't make too much
Yeah,
sense
I
in the
mean,
terms of recognition.
those are good points. I think it may be just simplistic, and if it is Jaime, yeah, he could have got there pretty quick. And when we see, it just depends. That's it's hard for me to think on that. There's some funny comment. Katrina Torres, Bron needs to die. I guess so. He really does. I don't really know what the end of his story arc is because I feel like it was done long ago. Even though we love to hear Bron talk shit, even though I know you can't stand him. But let me see. Yeah, Sasuke, she's already paid them their due. So that's a really good point. I don't think they're gonna turn at this point.
I
But,
think they are going to turn, but a much different way because, are you ready for this one? If you remember from the trailer, Harry Strickland's sword had a bit of an eagle on it. To me, that seems to be a griff, like a griffin, because I believe Harry Strickland is actually young Griff, and this can materialize in the shows. Varys has been working on it the whole time. It's coming out now that Harry Strickland, he's just like in the books, he's been waiting this whole time to see what's going on. He has his moment, and the true Aegon Targaryen, who is young Griff, because Harry Strickland in the book is fat, he's balding. He's not as balding as me, but he's fat, he's balding. This is not Harry Strickland. This is young Griff. We saw it in the trailer. Go watch it. This is how he's going to flip. Maybe not in that way. He has the army with him, the Golden Company. He's going to take out Dany and her dragons, and the true Targaryen will take the Iron Throne. This Harry Strickland guy, look at how good he looks. He's a Targaryen. That's how it's going to flip.
So okay.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, that's some definite
Just a little
tinfoil
Friday
delivery.
tinfoil for us all, break the ice here, let's all just get along. Steve York, I love you, brother. All right, everybody, we all love each other. So a little tinfoil.
But
How about that one?
I say that's some tinfoil, but I would have to challenge that just in the fact that they have not even whispered young Griff or Fagon's name, and to pull him in the last 2 episodes would be a D&D move. So, but I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
My actual answer is probably no. I'd love to see Dario. He's real handsome. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just think he might show up with the second sons because there may be a raven. Danny needs more army. Because they only brought the Dothraki and the Unsullied. What happened to the second sons? They're just like, oh, just patrol the streets of Marine. It's like, well, Marine's supposed to be safe now, and Dario was only supposed to be in charge until they elected their own leaders. So,
Fandom Disdain said that tinfoil made me drop my phone.
Shout out Fandom. He's my boy. He's always hitting me up on Twitter. He's the master of GIFs, man. He posts the best GIFs at all times, and in this moment, he probably has a good one.
We call them gifts, but
GIFs, yeah. See, in the Northeast, man, it's all a little bit different.
That's a heated debate. But
It's a
with
heated debate.
let's see if we can move a little bit. We're gonna have a battle. A good point that Girl Nettles made earlier in the chat. Dragons under scales. There's their scales on their belly for damn sure are almost impenetrable. And Meraxes was felled with the scorpion bolt to the eye. So that's a really good point. I guess you could say that, like I said, there's magical spells on those shafts. So, get with the program, Girl Nettles. I'm kidding. But no, that's a really good point. I do think, what do y'all, I guess while I'm on the dragons, and before we get into that, John Delvento, I think it's time for a designated driver keychain. Are y'all ready in the chat? If you don't know the rules, John Delvento is going to ask a question. My guest will ask a question, and then I'll give you 10 seconds to answer it. First one to answer it gets this. You send me all your information so I can stalk you. All right, go ahead, John.
All right. So, ready for the question? So, I just talked about him. What is Harry Strickland? Now, we're going to do a little bit of show, a little bit of books. This is kind of getting into the books. What is Harry Strickland's nickname in the books? What is Harry Strickland's nickname in the books?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. I'm
never got it.
Go. Make sure the tattered prince isn't one of them.
Oh,
I know what. I got the answer in my head.
York kind of has it.
My buddy Steve York's got it.
Yeah, okay. We'll have to give Steve York that one. Harry the
So I'm going to
Dingleberry.
write him a personal letter when you mail it. He's going to get it with a picture of me. I'm going to put a little kiss on it too, a little lipstick print.
Steve York, I will print out Delvento's head and put it in the envelope with your designated driver keychain, so you can feel a part of the. You can be a part of the party and also have some Dornish piss on your keychain. Okay, so I was getting back to the dragons. Drogon.
What is this? What are you talking? What are you?
Johnny be crazy, man.
You are Johnny be crazy today. Oh man,
He's like, he's just throwing me off, man. I'm trying to get analytical here. No, Drogon. I'll go ahead and let you take it over.
Baby, I'm just said to put some life into your next countdown.
Oh, well, to be monitored, whatever. Okay, look, Phantom Descent, shut up.
Or else the
I'll
Baelish
see
will come
you, I'll
out.
see you Monday.
Or else Baelish is gonna come and get you.
Okay, let me get us back on track. Hello, Phantom Descent. Sansa, so beautiful. I grew up on the fingers. Okay, anyways, Drogon. What do you think is going to happen with Drogon? We still haven't seen a couple shots, like the shot of him burning someone, but this may be a mirror reverse shot of him burning the Night King. Anyways, is he going to burn Varys? Is Drogon going to live? Are we going to have a clutch of dragon eggs? Let's get that out of the way because everybody loves this question. Or will Drogon get poisoned and just die in his sleep and we'll be really pissed off? Mackenzie?
Pardon for the background noise, but the Drogon is probably gonna die, or if he doesn't die, it'll be Dany that dies, and then Jon is the one to kind of take over that dragon. Because it always has to be once the rider dies that the dragon gets a new rider. So if Dany dies, then that may happen. I feel like Varys is not long for this world. Mel even told him, it's like, I'm here to die in this strange country, and so are you. So Dany will probably burn him once she realizes the treason, or so on and so forth. But I don't know if it will be before Jon maybe tells her that there's something going on, or because we all have to figure out that there's something that's going to happen with Dany, because Varys said that Dany essentially has to die or something bad has to happen to her, because she's too strong-willed to be married to and rule with Jon. So I feel like, yeah, Varys is not long for this world, either before or after, because Tyrion may rat Varys out for saying that he because the secret has come out, and all of this, which will spawn a whole different amount of problems. Probably Jon sending ravens to Sansa, being like, "Why are you such a biatch?" and so on and so forth. Creating like the ability
Is
for
that what the Raven scroll said? Why are you such a biatch?
you told my secret, blah blah blah. But yeah, there'll be something like that, because like you've been talking about, Johnny, we've been talking about kind of Sansa's not really going to stay in the North officially. She may not leave the North itself, but she's going to send people down to do her own bidding, like she kind of did with Arya, and in terms of Littlefinger, like Arya was the one to kill Littlefinger, but it was on Sansa's orders to do so. So there'll be something maybe like that happens because of the Varys plot / secrets revealed,
Look,
sort of thing.
this is too perfect for them not to do a Tormund and Brienne buddy cop duo going to King's Landing or going somewhere to try to help in the long game, right? They have to do this.
Who's
John
going to
Delvento.
run the Isle of Tarth, man? There they are, right there, having babies, having warrior babies. They coming out of the womb with 2 axes. I mean, who's going to run the Isle of Tarth?
At this point, I guess it doesn't matter, but because if Brienne is a Kingsguard, which I think if she does live, that's what she's going to end up being, the Lord Commander, the first woman knight, the first woman Kingsguard, the first woman Lord Commander, all in one fell swoop. She will write in that white book, if there is one. I do think it's going to get burnt up, and we're going to have a little differentiating it's going to be a little different, but I don't know if they have enough time to set up a new structure. So we'll still probably get a white cloak and all that stuff. Probably will get kind of cheesy at certain points for the people that do live, but I think we're going to see so much devastation and destruction that you're not even going to really recognize the area that you're at, the land anymore. It's going to be, the Shire type thing from the Lord of the Rings, but you can expand on that, but just in general, it's going to be that type of devastation. John will go freeze himself in a wall like the what was it, the 79 Sentinels? I don't know, something like that.
Woof. So how about the dragon? I mean, we saw in the trailer, this is a big topic, especially right now, past couple days. Euron does look up. And there's something going on there. So to me, I'm more on the side that Drogon's not going to die. And we've had a lot of dragon death. I mean, it seems, in Westeros, there's always going to be, it seems like, a dragon, whether it takes 100 or 200 year break, there's always going to be a dragon. So killing off the dragons maybe is not going to have a narrative purpose. Magic is always going to be there in some way. Bran's not going anywhere. The dragons. So I think keeping Drogon around is going to be smart. Seems like he's supercharged now. He's got maybe some armor on him. Maybe there's more dragons. Hey, I don't think it's a crazy theory. There could have been some dragon hatchlings that had some, telepathic stuff like Danny in the pit. Like there could be 3 or 4 more dragons flying in. That could be an option.
Oh,
So
that's
something
confirmed
happened
blood,
there.
though.
So for me, I don't think Drogon's going to die. Whether those other things happen, who knows, Johnny?
Well, on the
But if
Danny
he
in the
did
pit,
die, I would be very sad. And Ramin would probably write great music during the scene.
it's a tough one for me. Now, on the Danny with the pit thing, that's confirmed. He smelled blood, is why he come to the pit. Unfortunately,
All right.
due to research, but still, with
Blood.
that, you make really
Damn
good points.
D&D.
You make really good points about Dragon not dying, but and Bran, we think he has to live, and this has been nagging at me for a second. So he's living in the past, right? And he's stuck with Sam now. Sam's gonna probably do what? Write a book, probably. Is Bran gonna transfer all of his information over so he can die? Which would I don't know how they would work it, but it seems really like they're setting something up like that. This transfer of information to Sam, whether or not he's going to die or just retreat back to an old weirwood, I don't know. But as far as Drogon, it's hard to say what he's going to do. I'll throw in my 2 cents really quick before we move on to Bran. He's definitely going to burn down King's Landing. Do we think, is he going to die in the process? Because he's going to be hitting wildfire caches underneath. I don't know what Cersei even has planned. I would say put wildfire in a catapult, but that won't work. It'll just blow up. Hopefully we don't see D&D go that far off of physics, even though they have before. But it's going to be interesting, and I think at the bare minimum, Drogon's going to get hurt to the point where he can't fly. Maybe not ever again, but at least hurt to that point. With Bran, let's talk about what's going to happen with him, because I think it's very important. I feel like we're supposed to almost forget about him, and he's going to come back and punch us in the face with something. So, John, I see you want to take it away.
No, I wanted to load up that recent article that Isaac Hempstead put up, even though it's a different topic. So I didn't really have too much to say now, but that's why I was wiggling around. But no, I mean, your theory about Bran is really cool, that he would have to kind of transfer his information to Sam, and he would have to do that over a long period of time. And what position would Bran maybe need to be in to have that much time and be incredibly safe the whole time to get that job done would be the king. And I really do think this crazy idea might even happen, that we could see a King Bran. And I came to that thing just kind of thinking logically. Robert started talking about like Occam's razor from In Deep Geek. When you explain these things, just try to find the most simple explanation. And my thing is, after all of this, whatever happens to Danny, whatever happens to John, if someone's going to choose someone to be a king, I mean, who are they going to choose? And it's logically Bran would be an interesting choice, but he's proven himself to be set apart. So I had this idea that Bran might be king. And if he's going to transfer his knowledge into Sam, in written form, he's got to do that over 30, 40 years. And if he could be the king that this realm always needed, he would have the foresight, the presight. He knows all the kings. He's got all this knowledge. He's like a sage. People might even start like worshiping him. You never know. It could be one of these strange characters that could very well happen next episode, because we're not going to get any democracy in 2 episodes. People used to say that they're going to break up the Iron Throne. I don't think it's going to happen. Hell no way. So there's going to be something's going to happen. Are they going to pick a Targaryen woman, a mad queen kind of, that everyone says? Are they going to pick some bastard talking about zombies that no one else can verify? if they bring in a council of maesters, who they're going to pick? They're going to pick Robb and Aaron, or they're going to pick Bran. So that's kind of where I was at with that. So a lot in there, but I'll put the mute on now.
If Robb and Aaron gets to sit the Iron Throne, then not many people have predicted that. Like that would just be like people would even be in more disarray than any.
There are no gods in Westeros if that happens.
Yeah, be like, what?
Sweet Robin.
He's the longest reigning High Lord in the realm. Remember, that goes into this decision-making process. He's the longest reigning High Lord in the realm right now. Think of it. The great Robin Aaron. And what about all this crap people were saying in the offseason? Oh, the guy that plays Robin Aaron, he's a 250-pound guy. Where's all this crap? Is this D&D trolling, or is this jacked like Hulk Robin going to show up? You guys remember when that was going around?
I know. I told you what's going to happen. Like, he's coming in during this battle we're going to see, and he's going to do 14 cartwheels, 3 back handsprings, and a double somersault and kick Harry Strickland in the face. And in the war, immediately, they will be so terrified of his dual flaming swords. We will see Azor Ahai come again in the shape of Robin Aaron, and we will have 3 teats on a sigil, and he will just blaze through that line. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Sorry to interrupt. Lady H of the North just gave me the one figure to kind of get that theory together. Nostradamus. That's actually a really good comparison. Like, that's like he could be the Nostradamus figure. Yeah, really, really good one, Lady H. That's something that could help me kind of think about my idea of where Bran could be. Really good one. But I mean, people in the chat, where would you think if you were a Westerosi, one of the lords that was left, or a maester, and you had a council, saying that, assume everybody's alive. You got some petty lords here. You got some Ironborn. Who would you logically pick to be the king if you had a king or a queen? I mean, it's Westeros. It's probably going to have to be a male. I mean, if we get this stuff, I mean, if someone thinks Danny's going to something happen, but who would you pick in the chat, logically being like, a government official to run this realm in 2 episodes after this?
Can I say who I would pick myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
Samwell Tarly. Especially Samwell from the books. Those political schemes behind the back, making Jon Lord Commander, stealing from the Citadel for the sake of the world. He does all these very smart things. I would put Samwell Tarly on the throne. He will listen to advice. He will take counsel, but he will stand up when he thinks you're saying something stupid. He'll at least tell you that, even if he's pissing his breeches the whole time. I would pick Samwell Tarly. People do say Davos, but his lifespan, he's getting up there in age. But so I'd want him to just, he'd be better of a hand right now. And Davos, I don't even think would want it. But yeah, I can see that with Davos. He'd be an awesome king as well.
Some people are
lifespan joke. It's true though.
Some people are saying like Andy Burnett, Jose Martell, they want the new Prince of Dorne.
Oh, of course, he would bring all kinds of glorious things to the
like people are saying.
It was sarcastic, but seriously, people are picking queens. But think about Westeros, guys. If it's Westeros, we're not there yet. If you had to pick a male figure to be the king, and you were a lord, who would you pick? I've seen some Gendry. Sam, you got to have a claim. You know the logic they're going to lay. What's your blood? What's your claim? Who's your fan? It's got to be. I mean, Sam's a Tarly. You got a good point there. So if you had to pick a male, who would it be?
The Tarlys did support the Targaryens, so I'm surprised. Like, I know this is slightly going off topic, though. I'm surprised.
Westeros is run by Cersei, but in terms of regents and things like that, it's very different. I mean, you can get Asha showing up and stuff, but when you're really going to make a choice, that's why I know it's going to be a weird way, but I'm just thinking, putting myself in their situation, they would probably pick a male. That's all I'm saying there, is putting myself in
was Queen Mother, though, and she was the wife to the last king, as it were, the king's children. So, and plus, no one came to claim the seat quickly enough, so she's like, hey, I'll just sit on it. In terms, because like Vera said, it's all Cox in the end, so I feel like it's either gonna have to be someone that we know that has power. Like, we could say Sam, but it's hard to say, because would Sam actually do it? That's the question. Same thing
Oh, you
with
need to
Gendry.
just pick one. Plus, John's done got everyone insane in the chat right now. Look at you, John Delvento. You controversial figure, you.
That's what I like to do it in a fun way. But no, I don't. I mean, it's Westeros here, people. I only mean it to be. I mean, we obviously have
Varys said it.
Brienne. We have you know we have Arya. I love this show because it gave me a really big picture of life. But if you are like a bunch of old maesters and you're talking about bloodlines and potentially Johnny, I know you think Danny might be a goner. So if that happens. And there's mostly that's the only point I was trying to make there, but people get fired up. But like I said, the Council of Ladies would be a great way to run Westeros. If they can make it happen, it would be great. But the Kingsmoot was a hard pill to swallow too, and for a lot of the Ironborn, remember? I mean, she was the most legit queen, but they still went back to. I mean, they still went back to this crap, and it's unfortunate. So that's why I just made that. But go at it at the chat. Just be respectful and have fun, guys. Yeah.
I'd say if
So I
John,
saw really quick, and I'll
what?
let you take this over for just a second.
Okay.
I would say that just for that reason and the fact that they're throwing has to be a man, makes me think it's going to be a woman in the end. But we'll see because they like to subvert your expectations like that. Go ahead, Sasa. We'll give you the floor because we've been talking too much.
I would say that if it's not John who has to sit the throne, because if we're taking John out of the situation, the next probably likely person to sit it would probably be Gendry based off of bloodline, because his great grandmother was Targaryen, because it was Robert's grandmother that was Targaryen, I believe, if my the lineage is correct. And he has some Targaryen blood, so you'd think that if like people like Varys is still alive and Varys knows that remembers the Baratheon lineage, then he'd be like, oh well, this person also still has a claim as well. So it's, and also too because he's legitimized as Kendra Baratheon by Dany in the last episode.
What if his wars won this episode and we see a great council, like the Great Council of 101 AC that started the Dance of Dragons? It's basically an election. It's all the lords come together and they have a big election. Could we see something of that nature? Go ahead, Sasa.
Yeah, it's totally like that kind of situation, because if Dany wins and Cersei is captured / killed, they'll have to figure out who to win, even though Dany's gonna want to sit on it the moment she gets close to it. Varys isn't gonna let that happen. Be like, yeah, you won, but we have to work things out here. It's not gonna be this just massive thing of like, oh, well, hail Queen Dany as soon as she wins, if she does win. But that, yeah, like Tamara Magdalene said, it's a big if Dany wins, because Drogon has to surpass like 20 like just on the walls to get over to King's Landing. She has to pass a whole bunch of scorpions and then wildfire, then people with arrows and all of these other things. So it's not going to be an easy victory next episode. It's going to be a hard fought victory if she does win. She's already kind of weakened because of Missandei and Rhaegal, because in the trailer we kind of see her looking out kind of in the throne room, and her hair is kind of disheveled. Yes, it's because maybe Missandei was the one to do her hair for her that it's all just crazy.
No. But she still does have braids though, so she didn't take all her braids out.
So she's losing, but she's feeling like she's losing all of her braids, because that's like the thing with the Dothrakis. Like if you lose a victor or you lose a battle, then you get your braids cut off. Yes, they may not cut off of all of Dany's hair, but it's that idea that she's starting to unravel that and maybe take them out, because she's losing more and more people. Yeah, she had to look strong in the north, but now she's essentially by herself, so she can kind of look weakened, because it's not people watching her every 5 minutes trying to figure out her mental state as much. But yeah, the dragon, I don't know. Like especially Drogon because he's the last one. This brings up like what people I think mentioned before we started about um, dragon armor. Will Drogon all of a sudden have armor?
I don't. Well, there's not anything that they could make Drogon's armor. They couldn't make it impenetrable. They would only have normal steel. They don't have Valyrian steel dragon armor, so that's not gonna stop those scorpion bolts. So I would say no, unless they're just trying to look cool. But they haven't even did a dragon saddle, so I don't think we're gonna see that. Really quick, Suntavia Major says the funniest comment I've seen in a while. I've not seen any indication that Gendry can lead anything besides a marathon. And I would agree with that. I think Gendry's a really good dude, but fit for rule, no. No. He's got a lot of learning to do. And to be fair, he hasn't been in a position to learn anything, really. It's just been
He knew enough to do the first thing is find a lady. Did you see that? The first thing he did after becoming a lord,
he
he
screwed
found
that
his
up.
woman. He got on the knee. He said, "I need you, baby." Arya said, but he knew just enough. That's about as much he knew about being a lord. He said, "All right."
He needs to know
Arya
to
gave him that cold
wait a few
shoulder.
days to call her, right? You got to wait a few days before you call him. You can't seem too desperate, Gendry. Come on, man. I do think he's
So
going
what
to
did people think in the chat of Arya's kiss in that moment? You know, we didn't see the naked Arya, we didn't see Arya getting on, but we saw our little girl give a little smooch. What did people think about that? Were they okay? Was that PG? Was that PG-13? Rated R? What did people think of that?
What are you talking about? Kisses?
Oh, Arya and Gendry, they had she gave him a little sympathy kiss, a little courtesy kiss at the end there, a
What
little
was
peck.
wrong with that?
No. I'm just saying because remember there was a ton of outrage about her just kind of,
The
I mean,
age gap.
officially
Her
getting it
being
on
naked is a lot different than
with
kissing.
Jen, but still, some people are like, "She's my little girl." I would never want to even see that. I bet there's still some people that turned away at that moment. I bet
I said it on my stream the morning after.
she's our little girl.
I watched her grow up.
That's too. She's
I
like her
didn't
little
need
sister.
Arya's side boob. They could have did it like the Brienne Torment except not being drunk.
So side boob's no
Anyway,
good, but you're cool with the smooch, right?
let's get off of that weirdness. Andy Burnett, correct me if I'm wrong, but all they talked about was the battle at Winterfell being the longest ever in history. That would make this battle not as epic, right? Underwhelming. Yes and no. Just depends. I think it's going to be. I don't know. They might have been misleading us here. They misled us with the long night, but not really when you think about it. The long night really isn't the true evil in the world. The true evil is mankind. Leaf even said it herself. The long night is just an extinction attempt by the children of the forest that went wrong. Supposedly, I still believe the children wanted it to kind of happen. Then you have a small pocket of them that want to change it. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Let me see. Where are we at? Oh yeah, I think it will be. There's gonna be a lot of fire and brimstone. That's what I think. Dany's gonna go crazy with Drogon. She's gonna burn a bunch of innocent people. Wildfire caches are gonna get ignited, and we'll see how Cersei goes out. But I do think Jaime's gonna be inside the walls while the battle's going on outside the walls, and Jaime's gonna die, and Cersei's gonna die, and Arya's gonna die, and the Hound's gonna die. If Arya and the Hound do live, it'd be great. But if they don't, I can see it. They're going there on a suicide mission, so I think it could be pretty good. Battle wise, yeah, it's not going to be a long battle. There's going to be lots of subterfuge, lots of sneaking around, going in through the sewers. The way Arya came out when she was spying on Varys, she's going to take the Hound right through there. They have a secret entrance to go in. It's the same place, kind of that Tyrion went in as well. So I think it's going to be really good. I don't think we're going to get a cliche Clegane Bowl. I think it's going to be a 2-on-1. And it's going to be pretty devastating for all parties involved. Shut up, John.
Yeah, Clegane Bowl, like it's been hyped up for literally probably since season 1, but we technically kind of had that in episode 5 when the Hound was defending Loris's honor at the hands tourney. But I don't know, like the mountain was completely like unfazed when he had to kill Missandei. Like it wasn't even, yes, it wasn't a struggle or anything, but he didn't obviously take too much to deal with that. So it's a lot of people are saying that Grey Worm's also going to be involved in that. So then that makes us think that Grey Worm makes it all the way into the Red Keep with the Hound and Arya. So this will be a little bit strange, but
Well, 3-on-1 action.
yeah, but I'm almost thinking that like if Grey Worm shows up with the two of them, that it'll almost be like Oberyn Martell in a sense, where Grey Worm's going to be like Oberyn Martell, and then the two other ones are going to be able to fight. So it's, I don't know. Yes, the Unsullied are good fighters, but I don't know. I know you want to talk about the imagination realm. So
What if we are getting thrown off by Jaime and he tries to protect Cersei from Grey Worm? And Jaime and Grey Worm actually have to fight. Even though probably
maybe
Grey Worm will the living hell out of Jaime.
we can bring this up afterward, but the letter that I didn't think about it, but the letter that Varys sends to Sansa, it's like that Rhaegal is dead, the Euron's fleet attacked them, and that Missandei has been captured. It's like they didn't say Missandei of North; they just said Missandei. So it's like I don't think we ever got Missandei introduced to any of these other characters. So it's like, how do you think that JB was to know who Missandei was? Because we didn't have like formal introductions or anything. So it's just like,
Well, I mean, you'd have to assume he's seen her there standing by Danny the whole time he was in.
they referred to Missandei as Missandei of North all of the other times in this episode. So just to call her Missandei and the Raven was a little bit sketch, but whatever.
Go ahead. John, you got something there?
No, I was just gonna finish up the point about the episode. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think this episode is gonna be, just quickly, much better than episode 3. I think it's gonna be a much more climactic battle. I mean, we have strong emotional connections. I mean, we did at Winterfell, but in this we have a lot of inter-family dynamics. We have Lannisters back. We have Cersei there. We'll probably, hopefully, have some deaths. I think this is going to be much better. And I think Dany, in her post interview, she said that, or Emilia Clarke said that, that she was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be so much better. So I think, yeah, we're going to see, it's probably going to be light out. We'll get to actually see shit. There'll be fire, like you said. Yeah, I think episode 5 is going to be the best. It's going to blow us all away. And there's strong, strong emotional connections from 7 seasons kind of all coming to fruition here, because, as you've said many times, Johnny, the Night King was a red herring. So episode 3, it was a great battle, but I think this is going to be the one, and we'll be able to see it, I hope.
I second those comments. I think it was a red herring. It's humanity. It's humanity. They suck. No,
It's humanity.
Humanity, yo. No, I think it's a really I think it's gonna be good. It's got to be good. I'm gonna enjoy it. It doesn't have to be good, but I think it's gonna be good. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's whatever. We got many and more things to do on this channel, though. We'll be talking about the books plus the long night coming up. I've got I'll be covering Legion, Stranger Things, The Expanse, Vikings, and a few other things. So if you like TV shows, just hang out here. Right now, let's get into the Imagination Realm news. Nooners of Ice and Fire on Fridays, brought to you by the Imagination Realm and Handmade by Bobbi. I sound like a professional, don't I? But let's get into this. Okay, so we got a bunch of things going on. Is Varys really for the realm? Most people in this poll, you'll get polls in the Imagination Realm Facebook group. You can find everything in the descriptions, and hopefully my mods will get on it here. But right now, Varys is really for the realm, according to most people. We have a few people he thinks, but nah. A couple people don't say I don't know, but it's an overwhelming yes with that. Let's see. We got some pretty interesting news here. Um, they're talking about the Hound and Arya buddy comedy. I don't think that will ever happen, but it is pretty funny. We got some news maybe on the spinoffs. Let me check this out. Let me see if I can pull this up without saying can't accept. Can't accept, yo. Hold on. Let's see here. Toward a conclusion. Y'all can go ahead and talk while I'm looking through this.
Oh, cool. No, I
Whatever you see.
no, I'm thinking it's I don't know if that has the Isaac Hempstead interview that I was talking about. That's a more recent one. I don't know if that had caught that. That was a big one as well. Is that article in that newsletter or no? It says Isaac Hempstead discusses Bran's purpose and relationship with the Night King. That's a big one.
I can't remember if I saw that on the Imagination Realm.
I think it came out 21 hours ago, and this is the one where Bran basically said that, what I said to Theon, that actually was not from the heart. That was just because I needed to buy time to kill the Night King. And that's a pretty big revelation. So I don't know if we want to tab that article, but yeah, all these things are great. But I think this came out like yesterday, so it might not be there.
She says that she's not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's in here yet, but I have seen it.
We got the photos though, at least. That's cool.
Yeah, we can get into the photos if y'all want. If you
look at Harry, there's young Griff. There he is.
If you're not into
there's Aegon Targaryen.
Which this isn't really a spoiler. You'll see a few stills from the episode, but if you want to, we'll be like 15 minutes and then we'll be off here and you can come back. And don't forget, we're going to give away the awesome chakra bottle today. It's not a giveaway. You got to win it. You got to earn it to yearn it. You got to yearn to earn. So let's get with it here. There he is, Harry Strickland, aka whatever John Doe.
Oh.
Did we lose him?
Johnny dropped for a second.
Oh, sorry.
See what happens when you start making fun of me? The sound just automatically goes off. It's the Lord of Light. He's with me.
That's right. I'm tired of you. But yeah, they seem a lot like this does not look like a sellsword company. This does kind of bother me, right? Like a sellsword company is going to be a little more ragtag. Yes, they're going to be uniform. Yes, they are knights, but not all of them. I think in the Golden Company they're supposed to be a little higher, but I don't know about them matching perfectly there. They do look a lot like Unsullied, right?
It's pretty cool in the books when you go to the Golden Company's camp and it's like, oh, they have latrines by the rivers. They're organized. They have campfires. You got some rogue Lannisters in there. It's pretty cool in the books, but I definitely agree with you there. They should probably not look this prim and proper, but maybe Cersei did them up or Qyburn did them up, injected them with some white juice or something.
You would want to. I hope we see some more mounted warriors. You'd think they'd have horses. Let's go to the next one if we can find.
Didn't they make, or in the trailer, they kind of made it seem like the numbers were more even now too, to me. It's like, where's their horses? Where's their infantry? Where's their cavalry? It seemed like the way they were, because when Dany walked up, she had like 14 buddies. But in the trailer or the teaser, I don't know if it was a picture, it seemed like the army was a little more even. So if this is all they got, then that sucks to me.
No, it's 20,000 Golden Company.
Do we know that 100%? I mean, because
that's what they said in episode 1. Was there's 20, just roughly around 20,000. Like a couple died.
So there must be a ton inside
in transition.
Around that they're really that they're proper warriors. Then
also the number that Dany has outside at the end of episode 4, that was just what Dany brought with her to Dragonstone. The rest of them were with Jon, and the rest of the Dothraki that remained was with Jon, which I'm surprised they didn't bring like somebody with Jon that understood how to communicate with the Dothraki. Like because they all speak Dothraki, unless like one token person speaks English. But I don't know.
Seems like it's all down to the dragon. That's all they got at this point. That's really it.
Yeah, because I think now
don't lie.
I think because when the War Council they had that the numbers have become more even because Dany I think had more, but because of the episode 3 they had lost a significant portion of the army plus the dragon. So
they got what 3,000 maybe.
So some other. I mean that just bring me to the point that some other army, some other force is going to have to sneak in. That's a real D&D. Someone's going to have to come in, maybe the Dorners, or someone's going to have to come to the rescue, or Yara, or there has to be an influx of some, maybe petty lord or a house raid, whoever. Somebody has to come in from X seasons ago to kind of tip the hat a little bit. Or Sansa's been planning something the past couple episodes. There's going to be some force maybe coming in
Well,
to help them out for the drama of it all, perhaps, if it's that even.
it goes back to the Battle of the Bastards, right? Where Sansa took it upon her own accord to hold out on the Knights of the Vale and call for the Knights of the Vale and not even ask Jon, really. I think she may do this again. We also have some stuff in the Riverlands. I don't think that's going to pan out. Yara is definitely coming in by sea, so that route's taken care of. But as far as foot soldiers,
Where's
Dorne.
Edmure? Where is Edmure?
Dorne, man.
We're
The
talking about
only
our
reason
King
I say
Council.
Dorne is because they mentioned them, and they haven't really mentioned anyone else.
What about Edmure, Johnny?
What about him? What's he gonna do?
He should have a claim to the throne after all this. We remember our little King Council we had earlier. Nobody mentioned Edmure. He's still got to be
Someone
kicking
did
around.
mention Edmure,
Oh,
but
did they? But how
I
about
don't
that
think
force
he's
coming in? How
I
about
don't
that
think he's
army?
what force though? Is
You
the
might
thing
have
you
a
just
few
have to go
Frey.
with.
Actually,
Tully
there's no
forces?
Freys left, are there?
Well,
Yeah,
there's no
there's no
Tully male,
Frey.
or there's no Frey males besides the only one that's like with Edmure, like Edmure's son is the only one that has Tully blood that's a male, essentially. I think mine is like small children, but yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so because we have to remember that the Knights of the Vale aren't the only knights in the Vale. There's like other different sectors that fight as well, so it's like a EVA thing. But go ahead, Johnny.
Well, I don't, maybe we would have to see a little nod to them. Not sure. We know Dorne has a big army, and the only reason I say they'll do something there is because we had mention of King Daeron Targaryen and Prince of Dorne has come up. Think there's something going to come into play with that. They are going to have to be in this realm with everyone else. And you could say that Jon will probably pick up the people in the Riverlands on his way, which I think is possible. He's even going to have to, if he's going by the King's Road, he's definitely could bring them. I hope the Krennic men, Mr. Delvento, but I don't know. I don't see it. I think they're shafting us on the Krennic men.
Edmure is pathetic. You are right, Santavi. He is pathetic.
I don't. I don't think he'll be.
He did win a token
Worth a
battle in
lot.
the books, though. It was nice. You know, he had a little winning streak there. Why not?
Either way, his mental state's got to be screwed. And it seems like right here too, Tyrion's completely scared of Dany in this picture. If y'all want to talk about some of these pictures really quick, and I think why wouldn't he be? I think she's spiraling down. She's probably going to be paranoid of everyone asking Tyrion. She's going to be screaming at him, "Did you do this? Was this your fault? What's going on, Dornistan?" Yeah, you're fine, Talamasca Dan. Bring your British self on over. But I think he's going to really. We could maybe even see him start to side with Varys on the betrayal plot, and both of them getting caught. And now we're assuming that they're not gonna succeed with their mission of taking Dany out, but maybe, just maybe. Even though I see them getting burned alive, maybe I don't. It would suck for Tyrion to get burned. I don't know. I don't know.
I
Go ahead,
feel
tell me
like
what you think.
I feel like this could be a similar scene if Dany's like lashing out at Tyrion, by saying like, "I don't have much time," like because we'll have seen that 14 days has passed, since the last episode, within this episode coming up. So it's like Dany's like almost she's getting impatient and she's like, I can't keep waiting and waiting and waiting for Jon and the rest of the army to show up. But she may just start lashing out and saying things that try and kind of connect to what Varys is saying. It's like she's having to become the tyrant, essentially, to take out a tyrant. Waiting like I want to go. I want to take Drogon and go to King's Landing and kill Cersei and rain down fire upon the Red Keep. but it's like a thing of like, you shouldn't do that, or something like that. Or there's a part of this conversation that may happen that triggers Tyrion into thinking of like, stop thinking this way, or something like that, because it has to be something that scares Tyrion. Her just keep going on that wheel of wanting to say she's not a tyrant, but having those statements of tyrant isms, maybe.
I think it's going back to her being Rhaenyra Targaryen. Like I keep saying, she's, the two betrayers. She's already had betrayals. She almost sees what's going on with Jon as a betrayal. What's going on with Tyrion being so nice to his sister. That's a betrayal. She didn't like what happened when Cersei didn't kill Tyrion. She's gonna be wondering what the hell's up. Why didn't your sister kill you? Are you some kind of spy? I think she's gonna, spiral down a little bit. Can she be brought back? That's the question. We are gonna see Drogon, but who are we gonna see flying it? More than likely Dany. I think she's gonna get a revenge, and she may even trick them into saying she's not gonna burn the whole place down. But when she gets there, she's going to see something that triggers her and go ham, which I can't blame her for. John?
Well, no, I think that's definitely the angle that they're going for, this Mad Queen kind of thing. And we've talked about it kind of consistently in this show, that I think it's not a coinky dink that Bran mentioned, in a Targaryen in his vision, Daemon Targaryen. It's like the history of his wheelchair. Congratulations, that's great. But so we know he's living in the past. He has many memories. It's like he can't put things together. He's searching for something. He's looking into the Targaryens. He's searching. So he's worried about something. When Jon asks, should I reveal it? He says, it's up to you. It's like he's trying to play a neutral party. It's like he almost knows that Targaryen, this is not the way to go. And he's searching, and it's not a coincidence that that name was dropped, I think. So I think they're trying to just make a connection that these leaders are not the way to go. They're going mad. And I know, Johnny, you have, a theory about, Dany, something happening, and I'll let you talk about it. But it seems like that's the angle they're going for. Thus, the easiest solution would be Jon on the Iron Throne. And that goes all the way back to the trailer that they put out when the show began, where they cut through all the people and Jon was sitting on the throne. And this was way before, even R plus L equals J was even a thing. So, I mean, that would be the easiest way for them to tie this thing up, is to say, forget these Targs. It is what it is. So Bran mentioned that for a reason. Tyrion's freaked out. Dany had a face the end of last episode. We all want to see her burn the place down. Let's see it. But in the end game, I don't think Targ is the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and that may be why Bran's living in the past, going through Targaryen kings, trying to figure out if this is any good. We know that, and is there a difference to Targaryens with and without dragons? What would Dany be without Drogon? Will she be softer? Will she be nicer? She'd almost have to be, right?
Yeah.
Can dragons be detrimental to rule?
Well, the man that a lot of people are talking about, Dario, one time when they were in bed together, he said a dragon queen without no dragons is not a queen. Like, she's losing all of her her dragon queen status. She's just going to become a queen especially if she loses Drogon next episode, or Drogon is severely injured, and can't fly and be the menacing creature that he's supposed to be. So.
And true, y'all talking about Targaryen. I think Tyrion. That's why I think Tyrion is going to be king. He stands as tall as a king in the books. It's referred to. Varys talks to him, even in the show, telling him how awesome a ruler he is. The realm needs people like you. So I think it's gonna all come back to Tyrion and Sansa. We got them in the crypts. We can make a difference in the war if we were out there, and they will be in this war. That's why Sansa's not going to sit on her hands. She still has love for Tyrion. We've seen that. And also, Jon is down here. Then you got Brienne connected to Jaime. Then you got Tormund connected to Brienne. So you're going to have a ragtag group of fun coming down here, in my opinion. And Tyrion and Sansa sit the throne.
It's a great theory, Johnny. No, it's a great theory. I really, I buy it. I think it's great. I think it's a really solid theory, and it's really good. I think it'll happen. I mean, I like the tinfoil, like King Bran. It's probably not going to happen, but I think Tyrion Sansa, hell yeah. Great theory, man. You dropped it here, 3:14 Eastern Time on Johnny Be Crazy. Subscribe, like. It's a great theory.
I'll never remember it. The next one we got up, and be sure to stay tuned for the chakra bottle chance to win that. So yeah, we'll do that in just a second. But Grey Worm, we've kind of talked about him a little bit. He's pretty much devastated, and he's going to want to do anything that Dany wants here. I could see him being sent through the tunnels as well, but who knows? What are your thoughts? What do you think Grey Worm's going to do here, Sasa? See if we can keep it semi quick so we don't run 14 hours.
Probably it's Dany probably talking to him because she may think that he's the last military strategist that she has that she could trust. So it's like, what do you think? But it also could be him asking for maybe a pardon after the war is over, to bring Missandei home to North. So it could be something like that, because we don't know what they did with Missandei's body at the end of the last episode. So it could be something about that, because that was a big thing in episode 2. So the two of them. So
yeah, I could see him going there with it. Yeah, that'd be very poetic and tough ending, but we would have Grey Worm getting a chance at a normal life, which is something he's never really had.
There's a little theory going around saying that like Grey Worm's going to lose it and go ham. What do you think about that? He's going to like kill innocents and everything. He's mad about Missandei. I think Unsullied. Do you think his Unsullied training is going to break and he's just going to start like murdering people in the streets? Oh, I think you're muted, Mackenzie.
I'm just laughing. I couldn't unmute. But yeah, I'm laughing because I'm a dark bastard. But yeah, man. Go ahead, Sasa.
it's hard to say. Like, I mean, it's entirely possible. Like that, because the one thing that he feared losing, the one thing he feared was losing Missandei. He said that over and over again, pretty much since season 4. Was that he feared losing Missandei. So the fact that now he has lost her, and he has fear of maybe even losing Dany now, that's probably scares him a lot. So even though he's not in love with Dany like that, but it's the fear of losing his queen or someone that he follows. It's hard to say, but I don't
know. Tell you, what do y'all think in the chat? What do you think Grey Worm's going to do? Is he going to find a new love interest before the end of the show?
Is go ham like an old phrase now? I'm sorry, I say that a lot. Is that like not a pop culture thing? Is that bad? Is Grey Worm going to go nuts? Sorry about that. Is go ham not a thing anymore? I'm sorry. I stay in my studio most days. I don't get out much. Has go ham moved on?
I don't know. Sorry. I'll say it till I'm 50. I just want to, flat Jan Brady really quick. Shout out to Gay of Thrones. Go check them out if you haven't on Funny or Die. Oh my gosh. We see Jon and Davos here. Jon's like, I don't like what I see. He's brooding, of course. Next.
Jon's back to wearing his Stark armor.
Yeah, he is. So you could say he's in his black, his Targaryen black, but it's also the straight armor he wore on Dragonstone, right? That he arrived on Dragonstone in. So very cool nod. Maybe he's at this point he might be accepting his Stark heritage. Do you think he's going to go to Dragonstone? He's not going to go to Dragonstone before he gets to King's Landing. Do you think? Bringing the army. He's not going to see Dany and know what mental state she's in, right?
I don't think so, because they traveled by land. So unless Jon somehow acquires a whole bunch of ships, gets them on ships, and sails to Dragonstone in like a short amount of time, I don't think so. I think there might be a raven sent to Dany to be like, okay, bring yourself and the ships and let's go, kind of thing. So
chat's going funny, crazy in here. Yes, Game of Thrones.
No, piano's off today. Sorry, Steve. I'm gonna write you a beautiful love song, but the piano's off today.
I'll make sure Jon comes back at some point. So we see here what Jon's looking at. He doesn't like the way the wall looks.
That's the shot I was talking about. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to make it seem like the numbers are somewhat more hopeful than what we saw with Dany. It seems like, they're trying to make it a little more legit. That's the picture I think I was talking about.
Yeah, John went down with the main force of like the North and the people he's gathering, which could be the Vale, some of the Vale, definitely the Riverlands. I would think that would just, uh, you would hope so. We got White Harbor, right? Everybody forgets about White Harbor. Then we could have Dorne coming in and saving the realm. The Sun comes in and saves the day. Sun Spear. Azor Ahai, Lightbringer. So you can make this stuff fit everywhere. So honestly, but here's our famous picture here of Fagon, according to John Delvento. Which if that shit pans out, John, I'm sending you. I'm gonna send you something just because. Goodness gracious! But here we go, Captain Guyliner. And we'll put Danny on the screen at the same time because he is the bane of her woes.
But
So
what
let's
is Euron looking at? All right, we didn't like the dragon armor. We didn't like the eggs. Like, what is he looking at? He wasn't scared last time. What is going on with Euron here? What are your thoughts? Anybody?
What if Danny's dead and this is John on a dragon? Now, oh no, he's looking at Yara. The Iron Fleet's coming, bro. He's on the sea right there by Stone. The Iron Fleet is coming. That's the Occam's razor. The simplest answer is probably the best. Um, yeah, that's what I think. Sasa.
It's probably Danny on a dragon, and then Yara's fleet. Like it'll be like that whole thing. Yeah, it'll probably be Danny and it'll make us believe that it's Danny and the dragons, but it's probably Danny and the dragons going, and then Yara's ships behind her, like flying past when Danny's flying past. It'll be a combination of the two, maybe.
He's looking at Arya flying down on him. That's hilarious.
No, I do think Danny, to imagination round point, is going to use the clouds and the sun to her advantage. If she knows anything, she needs to dive straight down on top of them so that they can't aim up. Now she'll have to go to. This kind of goes back to the shot above the clouds, right? She's gonna have in the long night. She's gonna have to do something of that nature and dive straight down onto them. It's the only way she's gonna get it without putting herself in danger.
Mm-hmm. I know we kind of talked about this, but it's the fact that after Rhaegal is shot down, she charges towards Euron and starts going and then she turns away, which is like if she had been tempted just a slightly bit more, would she have kept going? That's the real thing. Or the fact that she didn't sort of have the foresight to go around them and attack them from the back because there's seemingly no scorpions on the back of the boats. So that might be a new strategy that she uses next episode if it's not Yara and that's arrived near Dragonstone. Because that was, I think, what people were saying online on like Twitter and stuff. It's like, why didn't she just go around Dragonstone and then just attack from the back? Or at least try and get one ship from the back.
Well, you're on your own. You've just lost everything. If stuff goes wrong, the whole war is lost at that point. You think she has to have some sort of fear there.
Lady H has a cool question. Didn't other Targaryens kind of fly down from the sun in like a blinding move? I mean, that was Aegon the Conqueror, right, Johnny? This is your turn.
And we even have, like Aemond One Eye and was it Darren? No, it wasn't Darren. It was Daemon Targaryen. They flew straight up into the clouds. Then you have what other battle was that they came down? I just saw it in there.
That's why, guys, seriously, if you need to...
First Harrenhal, when Aegon... Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
No, sorry. I was just going to make a joke. If you have security cameras and you really need to really get them, if you put the little light on it, that's how you get their face every time. Because the light flashes, they look at it, and you catch them on the camera. So it's a great strategy.
Oh my gosh, Dornish Dan has the best tinfoil ever. Euron is looking at a huge flock of ravens Bran warged into, which attacks the fleet like in the birds. Oh my gosh, yes. I gotta see that.
I believe it.
And then Euron's go screaming and running into a payphone booth.
Yeah, or he runs himself into the scorpion and gets shot. that'd be funny. But I guess
Yeah,
at this,
that'd be good. Oh, even and Rainy's
Mhm.
at the Battle of Storm's End, they used the sun and the rain to their advantage with the dragon as well. Rhaenys and Oris Baratheon. So yeah, pretty cool. Cornish Dan.
Oris Baratheon, that
I wonder if
motherfucker,
Julian
huh?
did that on purpose. Cornish Dan. It's funny. It's like a Cornish Dan hen. Okay,
Cornish
so
Dan, Danny,
Danny's brooding.
disheveled
like,
Danny,
they're perfect for. Oh, go ahead.
disheveled Danny, because we said
Disheveled. Yeah, she is kind of disheveled here. And then we got this. Oh, well, it looks like they are going to arrive on Dragonstone for no apparent reason. Damn, I'm wrong already. Of course, right?
jeez.
Business
what
as
is-
usual for Johnny B. Crazy.
Well, it looks like Varys right here is talking to to John about his station and what's going on with Danny. Maybe he's getting filled in. Oh,
Varys is
goodness.
full of shit.
goodness.
Varys, he's up to something.
A confrontation on the beach? Be like, hello, Aegon Targaryen.
Maybe. I mean, what if John kills him for treason?
Or
Would
put them
John
in
do that? He
chains.
chopped people's heads off. He's hung Ollie. He hung a
Mhm.
boy for treason.
Yeah.
This is no less, and he loves Danny. We could start hating John even more now.
It's possible. Yeah, like I wonder if he's just gonna be like act like he doesn't know anything, and then it's once he gets up to Dragonstone that he starts to unravel his knowings. But then why would you keep all of the Dothraki and all of the Unsullied that remains on the mainland? Like you'd have to bring all of them to Dragonstone. Like it doesn't make any sense. You're just gonna be like, bye, I'll see you in a little bit. That doesn't make any sense. Like they'll have to explain that properly.
I'm trying to think back. How many times has Varys spoken with John alone? Is this the only time
It would be
that they've had a one-on-one? Like, so John hasn't he doesn't know how to handle Varys's bullshit. I mean, everybody else tends to like have a Varys filter at this point. So this is their first that's the first time Varys is going to work his magic on. I mean, he's just a stupid, dumb, like stubborn Stark. So this is going to be easy for Varys. Or
Yeah.
Targaryen. Oh, he's a
Little
Targaryen.
minds.
I don't know. So this is the first time, Mackenzie, that they've had a
Yeah.
legit conversation here. I'm trying to
The
think
only
back. So
times
that's
that Varys has ever been in a conversation that John has been around has only been on Dragonstone or at like a war council meetings. They've only been in the same room together or the same vicinity. It's that one, even the first time that John is on Dragonstone, Varys is not even in the room. It's until after John's about to leave is when Varys comes in with the news of Euron taking out Yara's whatever Yara's fleet is. So it's like, yeah, they've never had a solo conversation. It's always been people around them, predominantly Danny and Tyrion.
So this goes
Hey,
into
Alan Josh,
just a lot of
Dragonstone,
things.
Starbucks coffee. That's how I like them.
Yeah, dragon scouts and stuff.
Like them toasted with dragon fire too. Go ahead, John.
No, I'm just saying this is definitely probably the craziest picture. I mean, I love this picture. This is really good. I'm really. I've seen it, but it's just good to talk about it with you guys. It's a great shot. I think it's just
yeah.
You can see their footsteps. They're walking away from before. They're walking. It's just now Varys is doing his thing, and yeah.
Oh my God, Steve York. I can't say that one, but damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the fact. Yeah.
Brought to you by the Imagination Realm. Don't forget to check out the Imagination Realm in the chat. And don't forget, we got an awesome, I wish I had better lighting here, but I'll send you a picture. I need to start posting this, but it's a shocker bottle filled with actual, real crystals, and it's got a little weirwood charm on there. And it even comes with a scroll telling you what's in there. Look at that. Handmade by
Bobbi. Oh, there was a question from Andy Burnett that I forgot to post in our side chat, but it was if Missandei only would have been with John to be the translator to the Dothraki. Yeah, If only Danny had given up Missandei just to travel with Jon, would she have died in
Oh
the
yeah.
episode?
Only Danny can talk to the Dothraki now, right? No one else knows that language.
Yeah, so how are they going to speak to the Dothraki?
Jorah and Missandei are dead. That's a good point. No, I
But
think
like I meant in terms of like to get the army going or to stop fighting or whatever. Like even though there wouldn't be any fighting, but yeah, why didn't they like send or at least have somebody know the Dothraki and be with Jon?
well, what do we got? Like 5 of them left? No, there's a couple, but they probably died if they went on ships. So Jon should have took what Dothraki were with him, so we might see them there. 10 Dothraki on horseback are to your advantage. They're really badass. Despite what you've seen in episode 3, John Smith has a pretty good question. In which episode will Varys die? Episode 5 or episode 6? I think this next episode will end with Varys' death. It's my opinion.
Well, it could be. Yeah, I mean, I think the other way. I think first he's going to kill Danny. I've had that theory for a while back. If you follow me on Twitter, I put a video on it because it was kind of crazy at the time. But now it might happen. I think first he's going to kill Danny, and then Jon will probably execute him or something. Like I think he is poised. I think we were thinking Tyrion might do the deed. Seems like he's a bit of a loyalist at this point to me. So I think Varys is in the position and the writings on the wall that he will, and that's very end of Dance with Dragons-ish, Varys actually doing some bloody jobs. I think he will kill Danny. And then, Jon will execute him, and then we'll get to the issue that we kind of talked about way earlier.
Kevin
in the
Lannister
stream.
with a crossbow? Is that where you're going with it?
You're spoiling the books now, man. I didn't even finish it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, that side of Varys, we got to see it. And I think he's poised to kill Danny. I think he'll do that first. Jon will take care of him. Then the big issue is who's going to be king. Therefore, we get our King Bran.
If we're talking about Danny being killed, how will they kill Danny? Poison? I guess poison's the only
Stab through the heart, Nisa style.
I meant if it's planned by Varys to make it inconspicuous, right? Would they make it poison?
Would he even care that it's inconspicuous? She doesn't have the love of the people. There aren't going to be revolts for her. So he can do whatever the hell he needs to do, honestly. It just needs to be convenient for him. It needs to be a sure thing that he can kill her. So I don't even think he'll take the risk of a poison, because when he gets it done, he's going to want to get it completely done like that. Poison, they have to drink it. They have to ingest it, and you have to sometimes coax them into it. So if he doesn't have to worry about the repercussions, which he isn't, he said he's willing to die for this. I don't think it'd be so simple. I mean, poison maybe, but I think he may go with a crossbow bolt. It may just kick Bronn in the face, take it from him, and then shoot Danny.
Well, because Kinvara knew something at that time, and they were all in the same room. They were in the same room. Varys was absolutely freaked out. So what? I mean, we're not going to get this answer, but what he heard in the flames, or what his goal? I mean, he knew he's going to have to kill a target or kill Danny or something. So Kinvara knew something. But the writing has been on the wall. I think Varys is definitely going to kill Danny. I think it's going to happen. Sorry. The method would be interesting. What would Varys do? I don't know. That's interesting. Would he use a knife? No, I don't know. Your poison, you're right, is slow. Would he have some kind of Master Whispers, Essos kind of, Tears of Lisi, sneaky thing? It's a good point. Or he could just have Bronn do it maybe, or something. I mean, who knows?
Could do a lethal dose of milk of the poppy. It's not that
Well, I mean, Maester Creyson tried to kill Melisandre there. Maester Creyson. Sorry, Creyson. What the fuck is that? Country coming out, boys. What y'all doing around here? Okay, so, but Maester Creyson actually pulled a fumbling attempt at trying to poison Melisandre. Was awful at it. So we could see an actual, I could see an actual successful poisoning here for another red woman, a fire goddess, and Daenerys Stormborn. Man, I'm so good, ain't I, John?
Someone brought it up. I didn't catch it, but I think it was Thasta K who mentioned, has Varys ever killed anybody in the show? I don't think so. If he has, it's been an inconspicuous situation.
Girl Nettles, it's an interesting point. I think it would, but I would have to kindly disagree because I think it would mean a lot for Varys to kill Dany because way back in earlier seasons he was part of the whole Magister Illyrio, Maester Illyrio, Magister Illyrio plot. So just to me, I think because he's basically you could argue he's a Targaryen loyalist and he would have to make this decision to kill Dany. I think to me, it's just my opinion. Everyone has their opinion. That I think it would mean something. But I know what she's saying is that the more dramatic thing would be for Jon to kill Dany. That would be the more dramatic way to end the series. Probably, if we're out of tinfoil in the theory zone, that's what I would more subscribe to. But I wouldn't discredit Varys killing Dany either.
No.
I think even back in it's going to give us vibes of Viserys shouting, I'm the blood of the dragon, I'm the king, I'm the best, and there you go. And
It's
Varys
kind
has
of
been a part of it.
not to be controversial here, but she's kind of done that. And sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
Wait, kind of done what?
Go. Yeah.
Kind of done what?
She's kind of been acting a tiny bit like Viserys with the whole everybody's loving you and all of this, and you're having the love of the people, and basically when she swears Jon not tell his sisters about his parentage, she's basically like, I've never begged for anything before. Very much like Viserys of everybody loves her, everybody's cheering and chanting for her, everybody's doing this for her. So she's kind of giving that a tiny bit of what Viserys did in the end, which was just everybody loves and adores her, but not me, and I'm the one this is my rule. So it's
Sorry for the squeaky chair. I got to get some WD-40. If you want to help me get WD-40, check out my Patreon, Johnny Be Crazy. Yeah, check it out. Lots of extra content you won't see in the public, actually.
Sasuke, that would be a little bit insane. A Crown for a King Part 2.
Ooh, I hope not, but let me say something real quick. Shout out to all you Seven fans. What's in the box? Going back to Varys's man in the box thing. I don't know if anything's ever going to come with that. It's like a lot of things. I think they've left that by the wayside. I don't even know that we're going to get what he heard in the flames. We'll see his eyes go pale, and we'll be guessing at the paragraph at which part he heard in the flames, more than likely. Where were we at? I got lost in the very. Oh yeah, as far as Jon, I think Jon's going to be indirectly responsible for Dany's death the same way he was for Egret's, and he's going to feel guilty about it. He might even go along with this plan, but I don't think Jon will be the one to actually kill her. And please, God, Jon has had a rough enough life. He's died. He's had to kill all these people. Just let him not have to kill Dany this one time. Dany dying in his arms, I definitely see that. But him actually striking the blow, I hope not. But I think that might be a little much to ask for. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, him having to kill Dany, that would mean that political Jon versus just massive thing, which is maybe true, depending on if he has to kill Dany. Like, that would nail the last nail in the coffin if he was the one to kill Dany. Be like, haha, I'm after power after all. But it's like, that's not Jon. Like Varys said, he bends to Daenerys at any single point in time. Like, the idea of them getting married will not work. Varys, it's like, no, she's too strong for him. He like bends at any single moment. But the fact that also Jon keeps saying my queen, or not my queen, but the Dany. Viserys was the only person to call her Dany, and he keeps calling her Dany, which must also bring up some harsh memories as well. So,
Hey, I got something to throw. Oh,
No, I'm just gonna say, how about if Sansa killed Dany? How many people would
oh my God,
that would split the fandom, I bet, in
Right.
two.
No more fandom. No, I'm just kidding.
There would be they've
Well,
done a lot. We're talking about, like, kind of, we're trying to look
I
at
got a better
foreshadowing.
question. I don't like to say this, but I got a better question. No, the
The
chat
wolf
actually
takes
came up
down
with
the
this.
dragon.
The
That would
chat
be-
made me think of this. Is Brienne gonna have to kill Jaime?
Maybe.
Boom. That would suck.
Again, there's been foreshadowing, and Bran is figuring out what happens. But you
Everybody
always have
thinks
a certain
Jaime's
love for the
lying.
first timer. That's the thing. You always have a certain love for that first time. I don't know if she'll kill him. I don't know. That first time, you always have. I don't know.
If
It would
honor
be.
compels me to fight you, I will.
Mhm.
Said that to him straight up. If honor compels me to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Fight for-
why? Well, Sansa's sending Bran. Bran's going to King's Landing after Jaime. I think Jaime. Maybe we all thought he was lying there, but I think he was trying to lie to himself. I think he really does love Cersei. I think he's going to try to save Cersei. If you think Tyrion's trying to save Cersei, what the hell do you think Jaime's going to do? They've been banging since they were like 12 years old, man. They've been this tight since the womb. And I don't, him loving her isn't a choice. It's not a choice. And that's what's so devastating about this is he has no choice but to go. Cersei is in danger. The dragons are there. And he's not going there to help Jon. I don't think everybody thinks he's going there to kill Cersei. She has his baby, man. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I never drank the Kool-Aid. Sorry, I never drank the Jaime Kool-Aid. Never ever. I'm happy that I never drank it. I almost turned, with the Brienne, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but I turned on Jorah at that. I said, all right, Jorah, you're on my sort of good side. Now, Jaime, I never drank the Kool-Aid. Piece of shit once, piece of shit always. Jaime is a POS.
Yeah.
The prince that wasn't promised. If Missandei knew the song that never ends, she would still be alive. This is a song that doesn't end. I'm not going to keep singing it, though. You guys are going to keep making me do weird stuff on this channel.
I feel like Jaime, that's entirely possible that Jaime has to do a murder-suicide almost because that's kind of been predicted. Especially if Bran is going to live and she's going to write in the White Book that maybe that Jaime had saved King's Landing twice from crazy things. Yes, there may be a different section of this with regards to Dany and what happened with Dany, but
can I throw it? Oh, go ahead.
No.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, I'll throw this at you. It's going to come full circle. It's got to go this way. He's not going to kill Cersei, in my opinion, because he regretted killing the Mad King, and he got called Kingslayer for it. This will go back to him not wanting to be the Kingslayer again. But I do think his love for Cersei, he's going to try to protect her. That may be even the death of him, right? Cersei kills him, and then he may take her out while he's going out. They're dying in their arms together, that type of thing. But I could also see him sitting there together and then just blowing the hell up. Sorry about when cursing like a Greyjoy there.
But yeah, it's entirely like the arms thing, and when Jaime and Cersei were being born, Jaime's hand was on Cersei's like ankle, so like they've been literally attached for so long. And we have to remember too that in the book, Jaime was actually supposed to marry Lysa Tully, so he'd probably choose anybody, including Cersei, to just be with. So,
Sorry.
but yeah, it's just I think Jaime's gonna be there when Cersei it dies, or and himself dies at the same time, because why did they have that line from Sansa of like, I've always wanted to be there when they execute your sister? Will there be a thing of just Jaime explaining that when it comes to be that he does survive in the end, that Cersei is dead, but then what does leaves Jaime? Because what is his character afterwards, unless it becomes this new blossom at the end?
Jaime's arc is almost complete. It's set for the tragic ending. Honestly, he's did everything he can do, and you can say he's become a better man, but he's really the same man he always was. He was a good man, trapped by love and circumstances. It's fucked up when you think about it. Love or hate Jaime, tragic story, just like every damn figure in this show. Except Varys. Varys seems to have a good time, except for his youth.
Poor Varys.
And anybody living in Karth, like imagine all this shit that just happened, like all these episodes. What are they doing in Karth? They're partying, they're chilling, they're having a good time, they're living it up.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, in Karth,
7 years of slavery still going on. Like it's
Yeah. Everybody wants to change the entire the system in terms of the monarchy to democracy. No, people, it's not going to happen in one episode because Tyrion said, "I'll give you 7 years to end slavery." Right?
Yeah,
You can't
Mackenzie and I were ganging up on people in the
You
chat a couple
can't-
days. People were like, "Oh, the dragons are gonna burn down the Iron Throne. It's gonna be so great." Mackenzie like, "No way, are you crazy? These are Westerosi chauvinists. They suck. We're gonna be It's gonna be even worse. It's gonna be terrible." I remember that, but it's a good point. You know, one episode, we're not gonna get a democracy. Maybe a people's monarchy. I don't know. Like, let the people vote for it, but come on,
We'll
there's still gonna be an Iron Throne.
Right, we'll say the start of something good. Okay, so we'll have our final thoughts.
What do you think about that, though, Mackenzie? Do you think we're even going to see the start of something good, or do you think we're going to get the old Iron Throne BS to go?
I mean, if Jon is the winner of this throne thing, he'll probably abdicate and he'll probably do the whole because Tormund said the North is always in you and all of this, so he may go north of the wall and then leave it to somebody else in his stead, have like the whole regent situation, like kind of what Dany did with Marine, almost until they choose their own leader. But I don't feel like the small folk are all of a sudden just gonna go, like they're gonna get a sheet of paper and then they're gonna be like, I pick this person. It's not gonna happen like that. It's just gonna be like eventually over time, there will be that ruler. Plus,
Well,
this is
a great council, and then they ending up on a Caesar, a Julius Caesar murder moment.
yeah, yeah. It's not gonna be like that. It's like more like what Johnny's saying is that it'll just be someone to choose who becomes the next ruler. Westerosi.
You asshole.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Westerosi parliamentary system.
And the big question is, how many generations is it going to take for all this bullshit to happen again? We have had plenty of kings, plenty of wars. We've had a little bit of magic, dragons. It's like it's this big resolution, but what are these characters' grandkids going to go through? They're going to go through the same shit again. So it's just kind of funny how it works out like that. Unless we get a crazy resolution, like King Bran, where it's this might actually change something. This Nostradamus figure, but if we get another one of these Targs, even their own children could ruin it all, and the whole realm can just fall apart again, which is too bad. But we'll see what the very last shot of the series is and how they resolve it. And we're almost there.
I think that may be the beautiful tragedy, right? That is humanity here. We conquer all these things. If the long night would have lasted longer, would have destroyed more stuff. Maybe they would feel desperate enough to change the system. But what's so painfully gorgeous right here is that all they care about is who sits that damn throne, and what happens after they're not even thinking about. The only person thinking about it is possibly maybe Varys. You know, Jon's not thinking about it because he doesn't want to freaking do it. But Katrin, see, from my point of view, if Dany had promised Sansa freedom for the North, everything would have been different. Agree. I think it would be a little different, but Danny's not going to do that. Seeing Sansa is a threat to her because of how much she influences Jon. That's the big deal with Sansa for Dany, because she's thinking about it in long terms of the throne, and she needs someone that's not going to disrespect her all the time. And that's why I don't think she's conceding for the North. And she's like, why should I even concede the North? Jon has already bent the knee to me. Go ahead and answer that, and then we'll get to the
yeah. I feel like it would be different. There wouldn't be less pushback on Sansa's part. If she had sole control of the North and not Jon because of that whole situation. But there'd still be tension. Sansa would still be angry at Daenerys for everything that she's done. / is doing, taking and some people say manipulating Jon into thinking all of these different things. So yeah, it would be different, but there'd still be stuff that's still the same.
Yeah,
Like
and sorry, I'm clicking the wrong button. And that's what's so bad about this. Like I was saying, before the show when you were taking a tinkle, Johnny, I was talking with Mackenzie. I'm like, man, I just started getting into this show like this season. I'm just really getting into it, and now it's all gonna end. Like we could totally have 2 more seasons of this stuff to tie up all these issues. Like we need at least like another season. Let's tie up these political things. I bet the fandom would love to see episode after episode. But here's how they're gonna solve the problems in Dorne. Here's how we're going to solve things in the Stormlands. Here's how we're going to, I mean, it would be really nice. Like we're just getting into it. Like we're just kind of settled down in our armchairs. Like we saw the cool setup episodes. Now we got 2 episodes left to resolve this. Like it kind of sucks. It's all our favorite show and it's cool, but we're going to get a resolution. But to me, what George said at the premiere was right, is we should have 2 more seasons. I mean, I would love to have 2 more seasons. I think he said it in his sarcastic kind of way. But it would be great to have some more, because I mean, like I was talking with Mackenzie before the stream, like we're just getting into it, and now this is it. I mean, they have a lot more to resolve. Prequels or whatever, but it's separate directors, separate. It's all separate. Like we could use a little more Thrones, in my
That's
opinion.
why
But
only a couple people can live, because it would be too complicated if a half a dozen lived. There would be too much to wrap up.
this is why the fandom's being so pissy right now, and it's cool. Like all this bent up frustration. Like we don't like. No one likes what's happening right now, which is too bad. We should, because this is going to end. Like we are a part of history. We are a part of the generation that got to see Game of Thrones as it was created. Like certain generations had MASH, Star Trek. Like this is a part of our history, and it's too bad that at the last season that things have to be so divided. But it happens, and it probably maybe didn't have to happen, but it was natural for what's happening now to happen when you try to resolve so many things in so many disjointed ways. That's just my kind of concluding word. But it's been a great X amount. What is it, 9-year journey here? I've watched it from the beginning with some of my friends. I've learned a lot about humanity and things like that. But we could use some more. That's just
Yeah.
my parting word there.
Well, hey, I love those parting words. You're a brilliant and insightful man. Don't let it go to your head, and stop messaging me at 3 o'clock in the morning for booty calls. Lady H of the North says the actors and actresses want out. Half of them are in therapy. I can imagine, because when you get into these roles, they actually sometimes take them home with them, because you have to ingrain and immerse yourself to be able to act that good. You must be that way in your real life. A lot of these people are method actors. They prepare this way, and if they're not method actors, there's 10 hours a day they're acting like that person has practice. So it really gets into your mental state, because you start thinking like these people. You have this backstory. Your mind tricks itself. So it's a weird thing, especially getting actors are crazy, not in a bad way, but like they have to deal with so much mentally. We've seen some of this happen with some of our favorite actors, and tragic stories that we've seen. I'm not even going to bring up names, because it's just tragic. But with that, are y'all ready for the chakra bottle? Huh? I think this is a pretty easy question, and it has to do with Dario, because y'all are going to love that, right? So are y'all ready? All right. So I'll give you 10 seconds. What sellsword company was Dario originally in the books? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ha!
No one.
Sasuke. It's the Stormcrows. It's the Stormcrows. Second Sons in the show, and the Stormcrows in the book. So Sasuke gets the chakra bottle. Hey, good. It saves me on mail. you get your keychain and your chakra bottle in the same time. Okay, so I have a couple more of these as well. I will be doing. Sorry for the late thing there. Blue Oyster Club. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Danny McKay. No, we will be doing this again. Okay. So Sansa K, you'll be expecting that with your keychain. Now, when we give these away, or when you win these, if you've already got a keychain or something, anybody can still win these. Okay, so I'll be having a lot of keychains. We have more stuff coming out. We got keychains of this nature. I even got a one that I'm gonna keep, which is the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland on a keychain. So with the little stopwatch in his hand. So I love that one. But with that, Sasa, do you got any closing statements? And congratulations, Sasa K. And oh yeah, Citadel of trivia. Shout out there. Definitely check out Handmade by Bobbi for sure.
And shout out to Clarissa Thompson, fellow Cylon Jill in the chat, who's also over on a vacation and she's just joining us today. But my final kind of thought / wrap up of this is that it'll be hard, even though we've kind of predicted some of the big movements in this show so far. I feel like there's going to be something that's left to be a twist. We've got something that's going to show up that we don't expect, like say some character surviving until the very end, and so on and so forth. I feel like Varys is a big looming character that's gonna change a lot. He may not admit right away that he knows Jon's secret, but it's eventually going to come out in the end. And who knows? I feel like Dany's not, although this is bad for me to say, I don't feel like Dany's making it out of this series of television. Yes, she was an amazing character for so many seasons. It's just because of the Game of Thrones that ultimately takes her out in the end. And it's being a usurper, you sometimes get usurped yourself because she's usurping Jon's title, as well as she's for all intents and purposes usurping Jon's title. So sometimes if you're the usurper, you get taken out as well. Plus, she may not be a dragon queen for much longer if she loses Drogon or Drogon becomes severely injured. So that's my final thought. And do you want me to tell the people where to find me and all that stuff too?
Yes, tell them where to find you. Really quick, let me give a shout out to my patrons. I have to. I love you guys. Amy True, Anime Lover, Nicole, Bobby Catalano, Catherine Cronin, Catherine Harding, Clarissa Thompson, Dornish Dan, John St. Baptiste, Dark Mother, Katrin C. from My Point of View, and Nancy T. Thank y'all so much. Go ahead, Thassa.
So you can find me on my channel, which I believe tomorrow at some point, fingers crossed, we will be talking, because on my Patreon, I posed them a question of what should we talk about this month, and it'll be a Patreon-based question, and it's Varys and Tyrion and their divisive plans. So we're going to talk about each plan, which one is stronger, which one's not, and we're going to talk about that sometime probably tomorrow, if not sometime next week. But yeah, and then you can find me tonight. I'll be pushing the button for Cylon Johns with John St. Baptiste, Clarissa Thompson, Amy True, and Bobby Catalano. As well, you can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can also find me on Patreon as well. The link has been dropped a couple times in the chat. It's, if you haven't checked it out, it's very similar to Johnny's. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
John, say your speech. Hey, stay and listen to John. But after John gets done, what's he holding up his hand for like that?
I froze. I was just about to start, so I'm frozen.
You're freaking me out, bro. But
I am a servant of the Lord of Light.
Definitely go over to Lauren's Corner. She's interviewing LML. Lucifer means Lightbringer. So go check that out right after we're done here. John Delvento, tell everybody where they can find your awesome self, sir.
In the phone book no, just kidding. It was just great to be here, everybody. If you know me, I like to cause trouble on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter and hit me up there. I always love to chat. It's usually my Twitter's pretty busy Sunday, Monday. I do a lot of live tweeting during the episode and stuff, and I let the dust settle over the week. I'm in geek chat a lot. I love doing guest stuff on these streams and stuff. It's really great. Very soon on my personal channel, we'll be adding some new content. I'm going to upload, I believe, this podcast or other podcasts with Johnny to my channel as well, and we're going to start getting some more Thrones content on my channel very soon. I'm obviously a music specialist, so I'm going to focus on music, but I love the books and the show as well. If anybody does want to follow my YouTube currently, it's all my music stuff. I'm a professional composer. Just started working on the season 3 of Animal Planet's Amanda to the Rescue. I work on a lot of kind of small, guilty pleasure shows. So if you guys like that show, I'm the guy that's writing all that dramatic, cheesy music. So we're working on season 3. It has not gotten canceled, by the way, because people thought it was getting canceled. So that's what's keeping me busy. I do a lot of music, but this is my hobby. This is my crew. I loved connecting with you guys in the chats and then moving on the screen. It's just cool to talk with you guys, and everybody's starting their own projects and stuff. It's really great. We're all kind of here together. I was getting a haircut the other day, all people together, just talking about Thrones in the barbershop. It was really cool to talk about this thing that has changed my life, and I'm sure it's changed ours. So you could find me all those places. I do have a Facebook too. I don't do it too much, but I don't have a handle or anything. Just look up my name and you could pretty much stalk everything. Thank you for having me. Happy Friday. TLL, what is it? TTLLF. Thank the Lord of Light. It's Friday.
Aye. Danny McKay, yeah, I hit 4,000 watch time hours. So thank you all. I have to literally thank you all for watching me that much. How can you stand my face for that long? But I do thank you so much for that. I will be on podcast Winterfell late tonight too. I think it's around 10 or so. So check that out with Axel Foley and Tim Hines.
Oh no.
Check out the Sideline Johns and Jills. I will be there. Episode Club, everything Mackenzie said. We'll be having some quickies coming out, and definitely check out the Patreon. Thank you all, my friends. And since everyone liked it last time, you can catch us on Nooners of Thrones at 2 p.m. Eastern Monday. And this has been Nooners of Ice and Fire. Finger guns. Pew, 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 pew.